It was 4:30 a.m. when I heard a loud whistle, abruptly waking me up from deep sleep. It was followed up by strong commands to 50 other young Marines just like me to get changed and ready to go. I scrambled out of my bunk and threw on my woodland camis, my blouse, socks, and boots. I was ready to go for the day. The drill instructor proceeded to swiftly strut down the aisle and make sure that everybody was squared away and ready to go. Once he was thoroughly satisfied, he gave us the orders to fall into formation and move outside. Like every other Marine here, physical training is paramount and held regularly. Every single morning at 4:30 a.m. for 1.5 hours, we were trained to do anything with lifting weights to running 5 miles. But today was a unique day. Today we were tested on a graded event. It is the notorious and the infamous E-course, aka the endurance course. This event incorporates a couple mile stretch of pure terror and backbreaking obstacles. Swimming in muddy water, running in a steep hill, clearing tall and large obstacles were all part of the E-course. Not only did this have a very competitive environment, but it did force you to move out of your comfort zone, above and beyond what you can even imagine. The E-course was only a grim taste of the challenges and rigorous competition and leadership that was expected of me. Here at Quantico, Virginia, I signed away my life for 10 weeks to accomplish the Marine Officer Candidate School. If I finished the training successfully, after being tested academically and physically, I was going to be a commissioned officer of the United States Marine Corps. Now, let me ask you a question. Can you do it? Can you dismiss the ideal of serving in the military? Have you ever asked yourself that question? Now, these are the questions that you must ask yourself. Are you willing to serve the next 4 years of your life to have the cause of just, patriotism or just national duty? But here it is. I'll just give you a little bit of taste of what I've experienced so you can have a taste of what you might want to do later on. Personally, I grew up interested in the military ever since I can remember. I would entertain myself for hours reading books about military leaders, weapons, and trainings. To the constant barrage of information helped me and influenced me for the future decision to serve in the military. Currently, I completed the Marine Officer Candidate School here at Virginia. And through the academic years and my summers, I was trained physically and academically. So let me share with you a few decisions and motivations of why I served in the military. 1, it taught me how to lead. 2, it taught me self-discipline. And 3, it prepared me for any civilian career that I want to do later on in life. So serving in the military forces is not simply just a separate entity that you have for your life, but it will prepare you for the future. So let me kind of give you a little bit of the ideal of what it is, because I want you to join the military. So, the thing is, with this current generation, there's a need. There's a need for discipline, there's a need for accountability, and also just having patriotic people in the military and just civilian life. What better way is it than to serve in the military? Is this something for you? I know it's not for everybody, but ask yourself one more question. Come out of your comfort zone just a little bit and ask yourself, would you be willing to serve in the military? More than ever, there is a need for it. And I'm going to share with you why. So, one of the quotes that I want to share with you by George S. Patton Jr., he's a senior general of the U.S. Army during World War II. He said, "The soldier is the army. No army is better than its soldiers. The soldier is also a citizen. In fact, the highest obligation and privilege of a citizen is to bear arms for one's country." Another quote that he said, "It is a proud privilege to be a soldier, a good soldier. Discipline, self-respect, pride of its unit and country is a high sense of duty and loyalty. The obligation to comrades and to his superiors is a self-motivation for everyone." Finally, there's one other quote that I wanted to say, that listening to those quotes would actually help you expect leaders in the military. Why wouldn't that motivate you? It motivates me. So that's something you got to ask yourself. So let me share with you the intangible talents and skills that you can gain from the military, and the tangible. For example, the intangible will be something that the money does not pay for and it cannot buy. The first one is how to serve. The military will teach you how to serve for your life. Serving 3 or 4 years of your life is the prime of your life. Anything between 17 to about 32 is probably what you consider the prime. If you sacrifice those few years of your life, it will benefit you later on. Being willing to sacrifice that and transferring those type of skills to the civilian life will teach you discipline and things later on in life that you may have never be able to experience. So, number 2, the second intangible skill is leadership. Whether you're enlisted or an officer in the armed forces, you're expected to lead in some form or manner. For example, you can be a private, which is the first rank in the Army, and within 6 months of your enlistment, you will be having the proper certifications and the training to teach other young individuals just like you basic military skills. Those basic military skills can be marksmanship, land navigation, or even just mechanical engineering. Think about that. If you're 18 years old, you could be teaching people life skills that can one day possibly save their life. Second, if you decide to be an officer in the military, within 2 years after your commissioning, you will be having 50 young individuals in your responsibility. That means anything within failure or success is on your shoulders. That's something that you must consider, and that's something that would help you for your future. Finally, the last intangible is just personal improvement. The personal improvement can mean anything between confidence and just self-improvement. For example, when was the last time that you did something out of your comfort zone? When was the last time you hiked 15 miles with the 60 pounds on your back, or climbed up a 40-foot obstacle with no safety at all? This is something that will get you out of your comfort zone and will teach you the confidence that you'll need for the rest of your life. So you must have this mentality that there is no difficult task out there. Everything else that the military will train you will teach you in the safe way and the proper way so that you can benefit those around you. Now, let me tell you about the tangibles of why you should join the military. These tangibles are something that you can physically benefit, whether it be monetary or just retirement. So the first one that I want to talk about is the military will pay for your education. If you serve for about 3 or 4 years, they'll pay for your education in full at any college that you're accepted to. Why wouldn't you want to do that? I don't know any other type of job that offers such a great benefit with serving 3 or 4 years where they pay for your $40,000 tuition, even here at the Masters. So this is a great opportunity if you want to have your education paid for, just serve 3 or 4 years in the military. That's also a thing for you. The second reason is that the military will prepare you to transfer any job skills to military to civilian. For example, such as mechanical engineering, administration, firefighting, finance, aviation, law, and many others. These jobs in the military can be easily transferred to the civilian life. Just think of any job that you can think of. Anything in the military exists in the civilian world. So why not join the military where you will be trained in a professional manner, in a disciplined manner, and transfer that to the civilian world where you can be outstanding. Now, the final tangible benefit is that the military provides a great retirement plan. If you serve for about 20 years and have a minimum age of 50, you have a pension plan where they'll pay for almost half of your paycheck until you die. So that's amazing pension plan that many other places do not provide. Almost nothing. No companies actually provide that, now that I think about it. And this is a great way where you can end your career 20 years. Let's say you enlisted 20, work for 20 years. At 40, you can retire and start a whole nother career. So that's also something for you to consider. And with that, there's also these little perks for military discounts, such as sporting goods, airsoft supplies, even food places, that you can benefit from that as well. So let me tell you a little bit about the satisfaction. Let me tell you about the purpose of really what I'm talking about. So the purpose is for you to consider joining the military. I want you to serve in the military for the next 3 or 4 years in the armed forces and to choose one of the places. Now, how will this solve the problem that I'm addressing? As I said before, the problem that I'm addressing is the laziness and lack of discipline in this generation that we've had before. Having a military training will benefit you and those around you because it will instill in the generation the qualities and characteristics that we need as leaders. Now, what is the next step that you can be doing to serve in the military? Well, the next thing you can do is consider the requirements to join the military. One of the requirements first is to be the ages of 17 to 24. That's a consideration. So that's also one. Obviously be an American citizen, have a high school diploma, and also be past the physical and medical exams. So if you have certain sicknesses that may not qualify you to serve in the military, that's also something to consider. So you may mentally want to do it, but physically, if you have some stuff in the past that could hinder you from serving, so ask yourself that soon. Now, what's the actions that I want you to take? These actions I want you to take is to call a recruiter. And when you call a recruiter, they'll give you some clarifications of what type of branches you want to serve in. For example, you can serve in the Air Force if you want a job that requires you to work on the newest technology with a lot of robots. Maybe you'll be controlling drones, possibly flying planes, depending on what you do. A lot of engineering, very technical. You could do Navy. If you want to travel the world, you could be on the ship and you'll be a minimum on the ship for 6 to 8 months. Travel the whole world. If you like the ships and you don't get seasick, that's the option for you. You can do Army. They also have probably the newest technology in the weapon side on the land. So the newest missiles, newest guns, that's for you. And especially if you want to be the land and you hate the ocean or the air. Now the Marines, that has a little bit of mixture of everything. They're smallest entity, but you can do anything between on the air, ships, or on the ground. So you decide on your own. The next step I want you to do is talk to those that you respect around you, because those that you respect will give you an opinion of whether they think that you should be in the military or not. It's always good to have a good counsel of people around you so that you can make the wisest decision for yourself. Finally, I want you to consider the problem and the need that I've been talking to you about. There's a lack of discipline and lack of responsibility among people my age or even older. But I believe that serving the military will generate a new generation of individuals that have self-discipline, that have patriotism, and are willing to do the hard thing. So that's something that I want you to consider. And finally, the last thing to consider is whether you want to be enlisted or an officer. Enlisted means that you will be serving about 3 or 4 years. You'll come out as a private, or depending on what type of rank, probably private, and you have a specialty. So that means you can have a specialty as weapons and a certain type of weapon, or you can have something with logistics and only do logistics. That's something that for those that don't mind taking orders, but later on you'll be taking a lot of command. But if you feel that you want to do a lot of administration, a lot of logistics, and leading your platoon of 50 to 40 guys, the officer route is for you. And know that the officer route does require for you to have a bachelor's degree. So if you have a bachelor's, that's something I definitely want you to consider. And with that being said, join the military. Thank you.